Be the train means to me to not stay at home and wait for a phone call.
Yeah.
And make the phone call.
Yeah.
And go out there and do the cold email or the hard phone call that you're like feeling so embarrassed to do, but just do it. This is how I transferred from acting to writing, directing. That's sort of what happened to me after we broke up. Like that summer that I was crushed. I really wanted to die. He was the love of my life. I mean, my husband now is the love of my life, yeah. But he was back then, and I signed up for a 4-week filmic course at New York Film Academy.
Yeah.
And I went, and this is where I did my first like 3 shorts, thriller short. By trying to tell a story that was like so important to me, it was such a big fear of me.
Yeah.
I was able to get so many people join my training.
Welcome to the Be the Train podcast. I'm super, super excited for this podcast, which is built off of my book that I wrote called Be the Train, the Mindset and Tools You Need to Make Your First Feature. And I am inviting a bunch of incredible, badass women who are doing amazing things with their career. And we are kind of doing like a deep dive on what it is like and all the things we're kind of running into, how to build momentum, and also how to keep going when we don't feel the momentum. So today we have Oran. I want her to do her own introduction because she does a lot of incredible things. She's an amazing director, female director who's actually killing it in Hollywood, which is very exciting. And she is also an incredible person. And she's also pregnant. And I am really excited for her to give us just a little more on her and everything she's doing. And then we'll deep dive into everything else. Thank you for tuning in.
Hi.
Hi.
So happy to be here. So
Thank
incredibly proud of everything you do.
Thank you.
I'm Oran Zegman. I moved to Los Angeles 9 years ago for grad school, AFI, where you went also a few years before me. I started my career as an actor. I've been an actor ever since I remember myself. I was like a child actor. Then started writing. After I started writing, I kind of realized that what I really want to do is direct, and this is kind of like, and then I'm better as in directing others than being an actor myself. And moved to LA 9 years ago, as I said. Had musical thesis at AFI, which was the first musical ever made because I'm that stupid to try. And then I think that I had my first feature within 3 years after graduating. Two of them were COVID. And yeah, and ever since working on a few projects, filming my next movie this coming fall, November.
Amazing.
An Amazon movie, an Amazon romantic comedy.
Well, tell us what the name is of your last movie. And
okay.
I feel like also because, and I'm the only reason I'm saying this is because you've done like some big movies with some big budgets that you've been the director of. And I feel like we need to see and hear more those things, because I think a lot of what happens to us is that because we don't hear it and we don't see it, we don't think it's possible.
Right.
And so it's like the more we hear it and we see it, the more we're like, oh, look, there she is, just another person who's talented, who's actually doing it, and this is what she's doing. This actually exists as a possibility for me.
That's true. My first movie was Honor Society, which was a Paramount movie that came out close to 3 years ago. Then I did some episodes of television of a show called School Spirits, also Paramount. And then I just, dived into the development, trying to figure out what's my second movie. Second movie is hard.
Yeah.
I don't think it's hard everything is hard to get made, of course, these days. But as a filmmaker, it's like, what is your second movie is a bigger weight and a harder decision than your first.
Interesting. Why?
When you have, I think that when you have a successful first movie, you have, which I was really lucky to have, like, it's, Honor Society was a YA movie starring Gaten Matarazzo, Angari Rice, and Chris Mintz-Plus. And I when I started making it, I didn't think that, I mean, I was hoping that it's going to be successful and all that, but it was really, really well received in the platform and with,
And also, what it was a big budget movie.
yeah,
How much was it? Can you share?
I think so.
I think so,
I
because
mean,
I
you
think
can
it's like
Google it.
online. Yeah.
It was 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
$10
10
million
million
movie for
for the
your first
first. Yeah,
feature. That's
that's class.
enormous.
I will tell you
I think
though,
that's enormous.
it's enormous.
It's enormous.
Tell you, I think
Let's take a moment. That's enormous. No, I'm joking.
it is big, and I think this, but I want to say that I think there is a reason why you first make an $200,000 indie
Yeah.
movie
Yeah.
before you do a 10.
Okay, so tell me. Yeah, that's
Like,
interesting.
yeah, I mean, a bigger movie and a studio movie come with different expectations, and it's weighed on your shoulders. And
Yeah.
every day you walk with this $10 million on your shoulder, it's all on you.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. And there's a reason that you need to first like try things and like not risk a lot, because as much more money as you have, this is like it's more riskier,
Yeah.
So for a director that
Yeah.
that you're the captain of this ship is
Yeah.
a lot. It's a lot of
Of
anxiety,
stress. Yeah.
a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of like
Yeah.
nights that you come back home crying and swear to God that you'll never, ever, ever direct one more movie again, ever. Because who needs this shit? And you completely forget about it during post. And you
Yeah.
already want to do the next one. But then, yeah, like going back to like why the second one takes time, except for the fact that there was a strike. And
And
all
there's
the
been
last 2
everything.
years it was terrible.
Everything. Yeah.
It's just that like it was hard for me to decide do I want to do next, like
Yeah.
I got offered to do a lot of comedies again, and I didn't want to do comedy suddenly, but comedy is it's easier for me to sell,
Yeah.
because in Hollywood everyone put you in this like box and wants you, oh, you're the comedy person or you're the YA person, and I didn't want to be the YA person. I don't mind to be comedy person, and I didn't want to be the YA person because that's
Yeah.
not necessarily what I want to do. So it took some time to get attached to projects that I really, really am dying to get made. And
But also, like, what a privilege, I think, to be in a position to make that choice, right? Because I feel like, again, like so many people, I feel like they'll just take whatever because that's the
Right.
only thing they have.
Right.
So even though it is a genuine hard decision you have to make, it's also like a privilege to be able to make that decision and be like, what do I actually want to do, or what do I want to be attached to?
Right. And I think that if you had like a first successful movie, you have this privilege for a very short window of time. And then, and then it's just like, because I think about it, I think about it often, and I do think that like now I would do things differently
Yeah,
a little bit. I think that I would just go and make the second movie
right away.
right away, and I
Interesting.
passed on so many projects that were
Yeah,
big projects, $30 million projects, and today I'm like, why? Like,
Yeah.
your bank needs it. you know?
yeah, interesting. One of the questions I wanted to ask you is, what does being the train mean to you?
Right, which is such a great title.
Thank you.
Be the train means to me to not stay at home and wait for a phone call.
Yeah.
And make the phone call.
Yeah.
And go out there and do the cold email or the hard phone call that you like feeling so embarrassed to do, but just do it. This is how I transferred from acting to writing, directing, because I
Yeah.
just could not be the person sitting for a phone call.
Yeah.
And I think that you did too.
Yeah, I did too.
I could not do that.
hard.
I could not do this. And then like this is why really shortly I went to acting school for like
Yeah.
3 years. And I graduated when I was like 21, and I just I just could not. I started a business of my own because I could not sit there and wait.
Yeah, I hear you and I agree. And I think, by the way, that even as an actor, I think now more than ever, we have the opportunity to be making our own phone
yeah.
calls and to be representing ourselves
Right.
more than ever, because there's like so much more ways to build community and to build a fan base
Right.
and to figure out who actually cares about your work.
That wasn't the
Like,
case
that wasn't the
20
case.
years ago.
100%. Well, there
It's
wasn't
like-
social media.
Now I like disclose my age, but yeah, I graduated acting school 19 years ago. We didn't have social media. Now actors are badasses. They can do so much on their own.
Yeah.
So
100%. So I feel like you kind of just answered my next question,
Yeah.
which is like, when is a moment that you felt like you were your own train. And it sounds like the moment was when you decided to kind of switch gears.
It's related to my former career as an actor
Yeah.
that I for like the year after graduating acting school, I was doing what every actor is doing. Like I was waiting tables and bartending and being host and whatever. And I'm like the worst in giving service. The worst. No one is worse than me. Swear to God. And after a whole year of bartending and like being the worst server, just like I remember that moment that I was like, I am never, I just committed to myself that I'm never going to work in anything that has nothing to do with my industry.
Yeah.
That was like a commitment, a promise.
Yeah.
And then it started, and I remember I was called to replace that, to sub for a theater class, like an after program class, not in school.
Yeah.
And I subbed, and then I was like, oh, that's cool, like I can do this, I can start teaching. And then
Yeah.
within a few months I opened my own theater school for kids and teenagers that
Wow.
I ran for 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And I,
Amazing.
and it started as like something that, like that I can earn money enough to keep doing acting,
Yeah.
writing. And it became, this huge business. I had like hundreds of students. And
Wow.
this is like one of the things that I'm really part of. I have like so many students that are now like big actors.
That's amazing.
And yeah, so this was like it was the first thing that I was like, no, I'm gonna stop doing something that not just that I'm terrible at, that I'm just like doesn't like move me forward. I kept looking at like every year where like I needed to be like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at some point, when I felt like it's going like many years after that, I felt like it's just like every year is like this.
Yeah.
This is where I decided to try to move to LA.
Yeah. That's a big decision. So how did you make that decision?
I had a boyfriend that got into a business school in London.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm 100, he's like the guy that I'm gonna marry.
Yeah.
Spoiler, he did not. I was like, I'm not gonna be a trophy wife, travel with you to London for a few years and do nothing, because I never had any dream of like acting overseas. I didn't think that I'm that talented or have the right accent.
You are, but okay.
No, trust me, I'm good. I was the funny one, but I was never like an amazing actor. And yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna study film, because this is something that I always wanted to do. And that was kind of like, broiling little by little. And then we broke up. It took me 2 more years
to apply
to AFI. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like, after like I started researching and I went to London and visited film schools, and I got so excited, but I knew that I don't want to live in London. I mean, I do now, but back then I didn't.
Yeah.
I need sun. I need, like, I'm a desert girl. And then AFI, someone recommended me AFI, and that was just like, that sounded like, oh yeah.
Did you apply to other ones too, or no? Oh, wow.
Just AFI.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh no, I did apply in England, but the year before, I was supposed to go with him. But yeah, that year I applied only to AFI. It was like, because AFI, whoever doesn't know, they have 6 disciplines. So you go and do only your discipline. If you're a director, you're studying directing. If you're a producer, you're studying producing. And
yeah,
back then I was already 32. I knew what I wanted to do. I didn't need to go and do, like, with all the respect to other great schools like NYU or USC, you do everything. And I knew that I don't want to. I knew that I wanted.
You wanted to do one specific thing. Yeah. It's really funny. When I applied to AFI, I actually also applied after a breakup. Yeah. But I was in a job that I felt, it was like a very interesting moment, because I was in a job that I felt wasn't treating me very well. I was the only woman in the whole company. There were like 12 men and me. Yeah. And then I was dating this guy who was also not treating me very well. And I had this like moment where it was just like this epiphany, like nothing is like, I deserve more than all of the things in my life right now. And I was like, I think I need to quit this job, break up with this boyfriend, and like start a new life. You know what I mean? And I applied to AFI, and that was like the one I was like, all right, well, if this is my new me.
I mean,
yeah,
that's sort of what happened to me after we broke up. Like that summer that I was crushed. I really wanted to die. He was the love of my life. I mean, my husband now is the love of my life. Yeah. But he was back then. And I signed up for a 4-week filmic course at New York Film Academy.
Yeah.
And I went, and this is where I did my first like 3 shorts,
Yeah.
guerrilla shorts, 3
So here.
in New York though.
Oh, cool.
And that was the like, I remember when I started, like even from the first day, I was like, this, everything that I've done so far, acting, editing, because I taught myself editing
Yeah.
and did like tons of like music video, like producing and stuff. I was like, this is everything. And I really needed my heart probably to completely crash in order to find what is best for me and what's, and after New York Film Academy, it took me like 3 more years to apply to AFI
Yeah.
because I needed the balls to move to LA on my own. I didn't know here anyone,
Yeah.
no one.
Well, and also I think your thesis film has so much like heart and emotion and like speaks to heartbreak and speaks to like I think it's so interesting how in this business in a weird way anything that you live through in your personal life affects your art in like a really deep way. So everything's kind of like a gift, towards your
100%.
art.
I definitely dedicated it to him, to the other guy.
Yeah.
Because it's a musical, Marriage Material. It's called Marriage Material. It's a musical. You can find it on YouTube if you want.
It's like it's one of the best shorts I've ever seen. No, it genuinely is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It came from true pain, really. Like that's all you need to make a movie. Not all you need, but like it's the first, I feel like
First ingredient.
first ingredient and the foundation of every good movie is like pain. It's coming from real pain, I think.
Yeah.
So when I finished like the first song, that is like the breakup song, not the breakup, the proposal song. And I sent it to him. I was like, this dedicated to you because it was a really funny one.
And what did he say?
Actually, like if I think that like he watched the movie when I was done and he apologized.
Oh, what a beautiful
He
moment.
wasn't treating me wrong. He was like the best guy. He really was the best guy. I have nothing, and it's not because it's recorded. I have nothing bad to say. This breakup was hard because I thought that we're gonna get married.
Yeah.
But I thought that he needed someone else.
Yeah.
That's what the movie is about. It's about like
You
how-
couldn't be
how far
the
will
girl.
you? Yeah, I couldn't. Like I lost my voice during this relationship.
Yeah.
Because I felt like he needed something else. That
Yeah.
was my problem back then. That's
Yeah.
what all this movie is about.
Yeah.
But he gave me the best gift with this breakup.
Yeah. And also, what a beautiful thing to get an apology later.
Oh yeah.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
What a nice moment. So, have you ever had a moment where you feel like your train is derailed or like that your career is, taken like a stall or that they're, and like, what do you do in those moments? Like, because I think so much right now more than ever, I think the industry's changing a lot
Right.
and there's a lot of change and it's scary because we don't really know like where things are coming from and where things are going to land. And we think one thing's happening and then it's not happening, or we think this person's buying this, but now they're not buying this. And there's so much of that. And so I feel like it's hard to stay like positive and hopeful. And I think it would be good for everyone to hear like, what are moments that you've had like this that have been really hard? And what do you do in those moments?
Yeah, I mean, so many moments like that. It's a great question because there's so many moments like this, and I think that after you pass the first one, you're more ready to the second one and the third one and the fourth one. I think that like as by being an actor first,
Yeah.
I got so many no's in my life
Yeah.
that it prepped you. It prepped you to understand that when you get a no or when your train is derailed, it's not personal.
Yeah.
It's not happening. It's not like you look up and like, why is it happening to me? It's not because of you. But I think that what I do, so I had like Marriage Material, my thesis film. I very shortly after I graduated, I sold it to Quibi. Remember Quibi?
Yeah.
S&P Quibi.
Yeah.
Good promise.
They
bad
had
timing.
a moment. Yeah. They had a great moment.
That like someone recently in a general told me that like about the project that is of theirs that it's COVID casualty, and I like this. So that's my COVID casualty.
Yeah.
That project. So I sold Marriage Material to them, and we were developing a whole show. We fully cast. I hired all my keys. I was supposed to go into pre-production a month after we closed shops.
Wow.
And that time I bought a house.
Wow.
I was in escrow with a house literally when they decided to close shops.
Wait, and this was based off of you knowing, like you were like, okay, this is what I'm getting paid. This is what we're doing. So I can just go and buy a house.
Yeah, because I was already paid for all the development.
Yeah.
I had a whole team, like
Yeah.
writers.
Yeah. It was all happening.
It was all happening. Like there
Oh
were
my
10
God.
episodes ready to shoot, had all the keys,
Wow.
the 2 big leads that they got approved, everything. We had locations ready. So what I did is crying
Yeah.
for like a whole day.
Yeah.
But after literally, I think after 4 hours of crying, the first thing that I did was calling my producer and said, "Okay, what are we doing with this next?
Yeah.
We're not waiting. Like we have great material.
Yeah.
We're ready to go. Are we?" And they asked me, "Well, do you want to make it as a show? Or you want to make it as a movie?" For me, it was clear that it's a movie, and
Yeah.
like this is what probably going to be my next project, but after this one, the
Yeah.
following one. But that's not the only time that it happened. I think that what you do, something that I like doing is giving myself a depression time.
Yes, I agree with that.
Like I'm
I
saying,
think you need to.
you have
need
to, because
Yeah.
you know what? If you don't, the thing is, I know that you did that the artist way,
Yeah.
as I did. I really believe that if you don't mourn
Yeah.
those moments, those projects, those no's that you got, they're becoming demons in your brain.
I agree with
I
that.
didn't make it up. It's in this book of the Julia Cameron said it. I don't want to take credit over it, but I really do believe. So I take like some time to be sad and to cry and to do nothing, absolutely nothing, and then I get up because it's boring to do nothing and to be sad
Yeah.
in bed. To me.
Yeah.
And I'm not like I couldn't when I was 20, I couldn't sit at home and wait for my agent to call me when I was actor. I think this is like the drive, and
Yeah.
you just can't. If you're really a storyteller, you want to get out
Keep-
there, you like the train will have to move, even if it's stuck, even if it has like a broken wheel.
Yeah.
You'll fix it and you'll keep going. I don't know if it was a good answer, but
No, I think it's a great answer, and I agree with you. I think me and my husband talk about this all the time because we work together.
right.
But we like make this joke like, whose turn is it to be depressed? Because it's like we can't both be depressed at the same time because that's too hard. We also have 2 kids. You know what I mean? So I'm like, we have to take turns. Like today's my day, and I get to just feel terrible today, and then tomorrow's your day, and I'll try to help you feel better.
100%.
But there is a lot of, I think, disappointment that comes with this career. And I've had a
Right.
lot of people kind of like the story you're telling, like it being like so close or something's already happening. Or I've even known people who have written a whole show and then the show got shelved and like it was shot
Right.
and it was written and it was like, and so that kind of level of disappointment is really like hard.
I think that like what helps though is, I mean, to me anyway, I really am a big believer that everything's happened for the best, but I know it's the biggest cliche, but I like, this is like the one thing that kept proving that it's right. Like I was supposed, the movie that I'm shooting this fall, it because we talked about it, but I was supposed to start shooting it beginning of June, 3 weeks ago, when I'm 8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And
I remember that. Yeah.
would be a shit show if I did. Now I know that it's hard. I mean, I would probably make it, but it's so hard.
No,
physically.
you would have made it, but it would have been hard. I said that to you. I was like,
Yeah, I remember.
I was like, damn girl, it's gonna get crazy. Yeah.
So but like we didn't decide to push because I'm pregnant. We
Yeah.
decided to push because like all kind of like reasons that I can't talk about. But when we did decide pushing, I was so sad. I was crushed. I was
Yeah.
crushed because I had I had my whole. I hired my keys. We started scouting.
Well, you were already in momentum,
Already in momentum.
so you were in adrenaline.
Yeah,
It was all yeah.
And then it stops, and then it's not only it stops, like you're not gonna get into it until the summer. So
Yeah.
so now I have 3-4 months, and those. So I think that but really, really knowing that it's for the best, and I really think that it's for the best. We just got the actor that I wanted, who wasn't available.
Before.
He was not available before.
I love
We
that
just
for
lost
you.
her.
Yes.
I can't say her name because the deal is not done yet. So I wish I did, but
But that's amazing.
yeah, so it's like really every time that something is derailed, the train is derailed, like the train kind of like
It's like
pivots,
actually moving in the right direction,
moving in the right direction.
and you have to really believe that.
and I really believe that.
Yeah.
And medicine helps.
Yeah.
Truly, Lexapro. I'm like, I need a campaign of Lexapro. I need to be the
Let them know.
I know.
So I have a question for you. This is something that I think about a lot. When you were younger, let's say 15 years old, how would you have defined success? Like what would it have looked like for you in your head to be successful
Right.
in this career?
Oof, I was because I wasn't a child actor. So to me, I think that success came with just like with the how many claps did I get?
Yeah.
And the validation, you know?
Yeah.
I was such a validation sucker, which is not very different than today.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was just like what people think of me.
Yeah.
If people like think of me that I'm the best, that's, I give too much credit to that.
Yeah.
And versus today, that like, yeah, I mean, today I understand that I'm not for everyone.
Yeah.
Really understanding it, that like my art or what I want to do, like if, for example, if one of my team doesn't want me to go in this direction, but I feel strongly that I want to do, I don't need their full validation in order to go for it.
Yeah.
Like I'm more trusting myself
Yeah.
and my guts and what I want to tell and which stories I want to tell. And like and I think that this is when you're making movies, it's very important to preserve like what you really believe in, because
Yeah.
you keep getting pushed.
100%.
So
Yeah.
I think success today for me is like not just like doing what just going for what I have in mind, because you do have partners and you do have collaborators and you do have people that put money that you need to listen to.
Of course.
But like if you are able to juggle and like to include everything and still like
You need to listen to yourself
listen to
anyway.
yourself and still like make this as like the foundation of your work, and
Yeah.
and so that's a success, I think, for me.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think it's interesting because sometimes for myself, or I struggle with this a lot, is like when I was little, I had a vision for what success looked like.
What was it?
Well, what I think is so interesting is that a lot of the things I wanted that would have made me feel successful are things that I've already accomplished, but I don't feel so like in my brain. Do you know what I mean? It's like, for example, acting in a movie that goes to 250 theaters nationwide and having written a book and going to Cannes and being on the red carpet and all these stupid things, right? But there are things that like in my mind like would have felt like such like massive moments that like
Right.
just totally would have like changed my entire, and then it's like being in it, I have this issue where nothing ever really feels like I've gotten there yet,
Yeah.
and it's like, and so I'm trying to really work on just acknowledging my own success and
Right.
like really feeling in it, because I
Right.
think energy is so important
Right.
and mindset is so important for
Yeah.
everything that you do. But I think that it is interesting that in this industry more than maybe in others, I'm not sure. Maybe not, but it's like the goalpost just constantly moves, and so it's like no matter what you do, it's almost like you're in it so much that it's hard to take those moments and just
Right.
really celebrate and be like,
Right.
that happened.
Yeah, like when you were talking now, I think about like with my short, with marriage material, for me, success was getting to Sundance. I had this whole thing in my brain. All of my cast, everyone will wear those like cute yellow dresses from the movie and will go like and give flyers. Like I saw this happening in my brain and we didn't get in.
Yeah.
And that crushed me.
Yeah.
But
By
I
the
think
way, it should have 100% gotten in. It's like such a good, no, I mean, genuinely. But by the way, it's like the thing is, these things don't actually define us, like what we,
No.
but in our head, we make a thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So I think that as long as it's moving,
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it went to Sundance or, for me, marriage material became viral in Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah.
That did this affect much more my career?
Yeah.
100%. Than
100%.
going to a festival?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially with a short, like
Yeah. And also that you guys sold it and then like had a whole thing
Yeah,
to
we
make a
sold-
show out of it. I mean, like
Right,
that's
right.
so much more. A lot of people will go to Sundance and nothing happens.
right.
Do you know what I mean?
This is why I think that like as long as the train keeps moving,
Yeah.
it's moving. And if it didn't move to the direction that you wanted, so that's the difference I think about success. You think that it's something,
Yeah.
but then as long as you keep moving, that's success, I think.
I hear that. Okay. So is there a no that you have gotten that now you can clearly look back and go, wow, that was such a blessing? What's a no that turned into a big blessing?
Whew. Yeah, so many. But I can say that last year I was up to, in different like times, like I think I had like a few months between. I was up for two huge Disney projects. And by saying up to, it was like between me and another director.
Yeah.
So it was really, really, really close,
Yeah.
when you're already pitching the president and blah, blah, blah. And I ended up not getting it for different reasons that I'm not going to get into it. But the thing is that I those two no's turned into like relationships that I got with the producers and with the executive producers that now is turning into a different project that I might be developing with them,
Oh, great.
And also, if I went with that, I wouldn't do this movie that I'm doing in the fall that I'm much more, that is, I don't know if I'm much more interested. It's just like it's more right for me,
Yeah.
for the filmmaker that I am. So I think that like this is an example of like, yeah, okay, I gotta know,
Yeah.
but you're not getting the full no when you're getting out of the room,
Yeah.
Because if you were up there
Yeah.
against one more person,
Yeah.
you have like a whole lot of people that loves you, that think that you're good and that will want to keep looking for a project with you.
Yeah.
And this is what you're taking out of it. And sometimes it's bigger.
100%. And it's interesting you say that because I worked as a casting director for like 10 years.
Oh.
And I remember that I would bring in a lot of actors. And I remember at some point one actor said something to me and they were kind of annoyed. They were like, you always bring me in, but you never cast me.
Mm.
And I said, it's actually the opposite. Like I always bring you in because I think you're really good.
Right.
That's why you keep coming in.
Right.
Like I know the casting you part isn't 100% my decision.
Right.
Like I have to run it by the director, I have to run it by the producer, they have to look at the other cast. There's so many elements that aren't always about you.
Right.
But you being good enough and you showing up and impressing me,
Right.
that's me calling you back all the time.
Right.
And that's the kind of stuff that I think a lot of people miss the boat on, that it's actually like, if you're in the room, you're in the room. And like, if people are curious about what you're saying and they want to be a part of your world, then you're already, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And also I going again to like really trust the universe or God or whoever you believe in. Everything happens for a reason, which is again the biggest cliche of all times, but it is my MO. Like I was up to direct Mean Girls. And I was
Damn.
Yeah. It was during COVID.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really.
But that's again, that's a success. That's success in itself.
Success, 100%, 100%. I was so excited. I got to meet a lot of really, really great people.
And that's so you. Okay.
And they ended up like having on Gary Rice, who was my actor. But if I said yes, I ended up not doing it, not because I said no, I just didn't get the job. But if I ended up getting it, I wouldn't do Honor Society. And Honor Society gave me 3 of my closest friends in the world, like my producer is my best friend. Sometimes you get to know for those reasons because you needed to meet this person, not necessarily for work, sometimes for life,
Yeah.
So I really
and also even the timing of your baby, right? Like for example, there's a version where maybe you would have done a different project and that might have delayed your timing, and which is not bad or good, but you could have ended up with a completely different baby. Or do you know what I'm saying? Like maybe like it's weird, but it's like that's how crazy it is. It's like this is the baby you needed to have. And like when I got pregnant, I had a miscarriage when I was shooting that movie that is on HBO. But what's really interesting when I think back on that film is I had to get pregnant again and we started shooting again, and it was really stressful and it was a lot. It was very hard. But then at the same time, it was also, when I look at my son right now, there's no other person that, do you know what I mean? Like I feel just like, oh my God, I got my soulmate, which doesn't mean that like it was so awful to have gone through that experience.
Yeah.
But that was not, whoever wasn't meant to be in my, do you know what I'm saying? Like that baby ended up not being my baby, and this baby is like my perfect baby. And that was timing.
Same goes with movies. I see a lot of parallel between making babies to making movies.
Yeah.
It's projects. I mean, not to say, it's different, but you understand what I'm saying? It's like something that you're cooking for so long, and it's like a movie becomes your baby too, that you want to give birth to it, right?
Yeah.
And you always get what you
needed.
Yeah.
What you needed. Yeah. What would you say is a creative risk that you took that changed everything for you?
I'll go again to film school because I decided to make a musical film at AFI where everyone usually make hardcore dramas. Some make comedies, but not a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember that one of my professors was telling me, "Hey, like you don't do this. You don't want to do this because you're going to be categorized as the musical person." And I was like, if I ended up the musical person, I'm going to be so happy. And also I disagree. And by the way, I did not I mean, yeah, I do get offers a lot for musicals, but it's not like I wish
Yeah.
people made more musicals so we
I
could
love musicals.
yeah, but it's definitely didn't. But then, like after that, everyone at AFI tried to tell us to not go for it because
Yeah.
everyone, even like classmates started filming their own thesis and
They were like,
were
"This is really
struggling,
hard."
and they were like, "You're gonna fail.
Yeah.
Don't try." We had 6 days.
Yeah.
We had we had a movie that was like 23 pages,
Yeah.
five musical numbers,
Wow.
all like big
Wow.
choreography.
So ambitious.
Very ambitious, but because I knew it, because I'm coming from theater,
Yeah.
for me that was not ambitious.
Yeah.
For me, that was like, this is what I know how to do best.
Yeah.
This is like how this is where I swim.
Yeah.
So I was like, I trusted my team because
And you trusted your gut.
I trusted my gut.
Yeah.
More than anything, I needed to tell that story.
Yeah.
And the reason that it had to be a musical, I just, I didn't really have the right answer back then. But now, I mean, I wanted it to be entertaining. It's a dark subject matter that is told through like a very entertaining lens. The musical makes it like a little bit more digestible.
Yeah.
And I just like being a musical theater nerd for my entire life. I just knew how to make it. That was
Yeah.
not, but it was a creative risk. And I was like, okay, so if I fail, I fail. And I didn't fail.
Yeah.
I really didn't fail. And it was very ambitious. It was hard. But, when I screened it for the first time, the head of discipline apologized in front of everyone.
Aw.
And I didn't need his apology because I knew that they don't want to hurt me or anything. They wanted me to succeed. But
Yeah.
sometimes you need to take risks.
Well, it's really interesting. So similar but different. But at AFI, when we were doing our thesis, so my husband and I did our thesis together. He was not my husband at the time.
Oh,
Yeah, we were dating, and we had a very big, like the heads of all the departments basically sat us down. It was almost like an intervention, and they were like, "You guys should not be doing your thesis together."
Oh my God.
And we were like,
Because you
"Well,"
were dating?
because we were dating, and they were like, "This is a
Rude.
huge," well, they were like, "This is a huge risk." They were like, "You might like each other right now, but this is a year. This is a year of your life. This is the most important thing that you're ever going to make. This is going to take you out into the world. And like, you think that it's fun because it's fun now, but what if it's not fun in like 3 months or 4 months and you're running a team and you have like 50 people under you and you're the main producer and you're the main director and you're
Yeah.
saying you're going to write this together?" They're like, "This just sounds like a disaster, like waiting to happen." And I
Cut to, you're married with 2 children in a
Yeah.
beautiful house.
We've been married for 10 years. We've been together for 12 years. Is it always easy? No. But it was funny. We had to like sit down and have like a really intense, like heart to heart, like, how much do we want to take this risk? And what does it mean? And how can we behave with each other in a way where we don't put like our whole career and our thesis at risk while we still get to do this thing? And I think that in a weird way, that cemented like, because of that thesis, we started our company, and now we have a company together, and now we've made 3 feature films
Right.
together.
Because you listen to your guts. And I
Yeah.
think that more than anything, this is something that takes time
Yeah.
to trust your gut.
Yeah.
And just like shut down the other voices telling you you're gonna fail. I mean, yeah, sometimes you'll fail. So sometimes your gut will get you to fail. But guess what? It's gonna be like the next step to your next success.
Yeah. So on that note, and this is my last question.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. What would you say is some advice you would give to other filmmakers? And let's make it specific, because I actually think you're specifically a female director who's very successful. So like so there's a lot of women that are trying to break into this space. I think it's a really hard space to break into,
Right.
but I also think you can do it. You're proof of it. Like, what would you say is one piece of advice that you think would be really valuable to women who are watching this that are in that moment in their life?
I think that like people that are trying to break in with a project need to do something that they could not live with themselves unless they made. Like they need something, they need a story.
Yeah.
Something that deals with their biggest fear right now.
Yeah.
And I wrote a whole lecture about like your calling card. We should talk about it one day. But really, I think that for me, that's what worked. I was 34, so scared to stay alone. I was
Yeah.
not good with like in relationships. I was real, and I really wanted one. And I think that,
Yeah.
but I always felt like I'm losing myself when I have a crush on someone, or when I'm, not to mention when I'm falling in love with someone, that like I
Yeah.
was always trying to cast someone else and be someone else. And this is where I would lose them, because I
Yeah.
wasn't myself. By trying to tell a story that was like so important to me, it was such a big fear of me.
Yeah.
I was able to get so many people join my train.
Yes.
And it's not just about like the team, like the producer, everyone, like the ensemble of like I
Yeah.
had 15 girls that each one of them had a story to tell. Like a day before, I'll say it real quick. A day before we started rehearsals, we did like 2 months rehearsals
Yeah.
because it was a musical.
You have to see these musical numbers.
A day before, I wasn't like planning for it, but I was just like, oh, tomorrow we're starting rehearsal. I'm gonna send an email to all of the girls, to all
Yeah.
those 15 girls, and tell them my story and why is it important to me to tell it. And I was like really vulnerable, and just like, kind of like this was like my creative statement for them. And literally 2 minutes after I pressed send, they started replying, each one with their own story.
Oh.
And why is it so important to them, and where do they feel like they lost their voice in relationships. and
Yeah.
and suddenly, even people that you see that that you probably would not might not remember because they're chorus, they were on a mission
Yeah.
for this movie. So I think that like when you're thinking about how to break in, think like what is like really urgent for you right now. What are you the fear, touch
Yeah.
your fears, because I think, again, like we started with it, but I think that really creating from the biggest pain, like you created from like
Yeah.
that your movie
Yeah.
after your miscarriage. I think those are the things that really get your voice out there.
No, I agree with that. And I think vulnerability is actually really key.
Yeah.
And I think it's very hard to be vulnerable, but I think the more vulnerable and actually the more specific you are, the
100%.
more you'll see how many people can really relate to your specificity and your vulnerability.
100%. Yeah. I think that every project that I have, whether it's like being cooked or actually getting prepped now, it's always about vulnerability versus weakness. I
Yeah.
think this is what's the struggle that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think this is like the core of like humanity,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having
I
me.
love you. I'm so excited for your baby, for your new movie. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media and everything else.
Okay.
And your movies.
Okay, so you can find Honor Society on Paramount Plus and Amazon, and I think you can buy it. And on Instagram, I'm Oran Zegman. That's just my name. Very boring. I need a different handle. Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
and you can find Marriage Material on YouTube.
Yes. And you should watch all of these movies. They're really good. Yay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, this is our Be the Train podcast where we're having amazing women and men and people coming in talking about their careers, their mindsets, their struggles, how to create momentum. And also, here's my book if you want just more tools on all of this stuff. Thank you.
Get it.